Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee and today we're going to talk about Blackstone. My husband and I got a Blackstone grill off of Facebook Marketplace. So this is used. They just purchased it in the summer of last year, the summer of 2023, and just used it for last year's season. So it's a relatively new grill and we got it for a really good deal. We were really excited. But I want to re-season the top of this grill for a variety of reasons. I looked at it when we bought it and the top is very sticky and uneven, so for that reason I want to re-season it, but also I don't know what oil they used when they were cooking on this grill. And if you are new to this channel, we don't use seed oils at all in this family whatsoever. Canola oil, soybean oil, vegetable oils of any kind, we don't use them. So I want to re-season this just so I can be sure I know what's on it and so I can get a nice, smooth, even surface. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. I have another somewhat recent video on my channel talking about re-seasoning cast iron skillets. And this process is very similar to that. So the tools that we need, I've got the stone, and this is not something that you want to use for everyday regular Blackstone maintenance. This is definitely a re-seasoning tool. This is a very abrasive surface that we're going to use to scrape the old seasoning off. I've got dish soap. I wish I had Dawn for the grease ability, but I have palm olive it's gonna have to do. Again, not something that I would regularly use on my Blackstone surface, but I'm going to for this re-seasoning process. I want this to be really clean. We're also going to bring out some boiling water, and I'm going to be re-seasoning my surface with lard, organic lard that I get from a local farmer, the fat, and then I render the lard myself. That is the fat that I've started using to re-season or just to use in general on my cast iron, and it's what I want to use on this as well. So no oils at all. If I were to use an oil, I would use flaxseed oil, and that's what I recommend to you. If you're wanting to do this, I would get a good cold press flaxseed oil to season the top of your Blackstone, but for me I want to use lard, so that's what we're going to be using in this video. Now the thing that might be a little different, I am small and short, and there's a lot of elbow grease that goes into re-seasoning this using the stone, so I'm going to ask my husband to come out and actually remove the top. This top here actually comes off, but it's just very heavy, too heavy for me. So I'm gonna ask him to just move it into the grass, and that's where we're going to do this entire process. It'll keep my patio clean, and it will make it easier for me to be able to move and do what I need to do.
Right here?
Yeah. All right, so now we've got the Blackstone top on the ground here where it's gonna be much easier for me to get in there. I've got my scrubber and I've got my soap. I'm gonna go ahead and add some soap right now because right over here, I've got some boiling water that I'm gonna pour on here. And now all there is to do is to get scrubbing. This is gonna take me a little while, and I don't want to fool you. This is a lot of work doing this part. It is no small task. And then you just want to occasionally give it a rinse so you can just see where you're at. You can definitely tell they favored this side over this side because this side over here is already starting to look really clean and stripped, and this side definitely is not. Whew, I'm not strong. This is a workout. All right, this is nice and hot and has been warming up for several minutes now. I have a hunk of lard out of my jar, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop that on here and get it nice and spread around here. Now I'm gonna use a paper towel to spread this around, but I don't wanna get that close to the surface, so I like to use a pair of tongs. I do this in my kitchen too, so it gives me a little bit of distance. I want to cover my whole surface with that oil, or lard rather. Now you want this to be a really thin layer of oil, because if you have it just like tons of it, it's going to end up being really sticky as it heats up on here. So you want to make sure you're using the paper towel to spread it around, but also get it so that it's a nice thin layer and you don't have it just pooling anywhere. And then once you've got it nice and evenly spread on here, you're just going to let it cook on here for a couple of minutes. All right, once that has had a couple of minutes to smoke, we're going to add some more. And I've got a fresh paper towel here to do the exact same thing. Spread it around and make sure that it doesn't pool in one spot too much. Be really careful when you're doing this because this surface is really hot, very, very hot. So when you are doing this, be really cautious. All right, this has been smoking for a few minutes now, and that process, what we're doing here is called polymerization, and that is where the fat, the oil, the lard, whatever you're using, binds with the metal, and that's what gives you that nice smooth surface, and that's why you heat it at such a high temperature and let it sit for a little while. So this has been doing that. I'm actually going to turn this down a bit to more of a medium heat. And you could keep doing this. Same with kitchen cast iron. You could do this process as many times as you want. You can add as many layers of fat or oil as you want to, but I'm actually going to go ahead and cook on this, and I'm going to cook up some bacon and some potatoes, and obviously the bacon is fat, so it's going to kind of be its own third layer. So I'm going to stop with the lard and move on to cooking, but like I said, you could do that 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, however many times you want. And I'm going to call it with the 2 and move on to doing some cooking. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit. It's piping hot right now. I'm glad that this is an outdoor thing with this smoke, because when I re-season my cast iron, my kitchen, my house really smells so bad, and I hate doing it, but it just needs to be done sometimes. So doing this process outside, I like it because it's not going to make the inside of my house stink. All right, I've got some bacon and some potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and add my bacon first. And of course, you don't want to cook it all in one spot. You want to really move it around the entire surface so that you can help the seasoning along all over, not just in one spot. And of course, it's not going to be perfectly non-stick because we're just starting to build our seasoning layer. So there is some stickage from the bacon, and I'm just going to go ahead and, while this is nice and hot, kind of start removing that. That looks great, and now that that is nice and clear, I'm going to keep moving this around and keep cooking it. This is excellent. What a great first cook on this new clean Blackstone surface. This is an excellent way, using the bacon, some kind of fatty something, to even further that season that we're building. And the more we cook on this, the better that seasoning layer is going to become. And just like with my cast iron, I don't re-season unless I feel a need. I did it this time because I didn't know what the previous people had been using as an oil, and it just had a very uneven seasoning layer. When you have a Blackstone, try your very best to cook kind of all over so that you're not just concentrated in one spot and building up a big seasoning layer in one spot and neglecting the rest of it. So that's why moving all of this around is so great for helping to build that seasoning layer and get a really well-rounded, well-seasoned Blackstone top. I'm really excited that we have a Blackstone because I do all of my inside cooking on cast iron, all of it. And so this is just very similar to that, and I'm really excited to have such a large surface to be able to do my summertime cooking. So I hope this video was helpful in teaching you how to re-season the top of your Blackstone, whether you need to because of a rough seasoning layer or you got one used like I did. I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you are here and you're not a subscriber to my channel and you're here just for the Blackstone content, there will be more Blackstone content. I will be coming to you with recipes, but overall this is a homesteading channel. So maybe check out some of my other videos before you subscribe and see if it's something that you're interested in. I really want the people who are on my channel to be here because you want to be and because you like the content. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I can't wait to see you in my next one. Have faith and keep moving forward. Bye.